guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and happy Halloween. I'm showing off my Halloween shirt. I need to put my Halloween earrings on. But it is Halloween and it is also Book of the Month Day. Woohoo! So, I don't know what that was. So we are gonna go over the picks together and see what books we're gonna pick, if we're gonna pick any. There are some really good releases coming the end of this year, so you know, I'm trying to limit what I'm buying, but I will still obviously go over all of them with you. So let's go. Alright guys, so I've got the books, the November books, up and ready to go. So let's see what we're working with here. I genuinely do not know what they're gonna pick this month. I'm very hopeful for The Mystery Guest, which is the second book in the Maid series by Nita Prose, and I'm also hopeful for Class, I think it's called, but it's the second book written by Stephanie Land. Yes, definitely, I was looking at the book. Stephanie Land, who wrote Maid, which we've got a trend here. But yeah, so those are what I'm hopeful for this month, but let's see what we've got. So, looks like the first book is a contemporary fiction called The Last Love Note, and it's an early release. We've got a young adult, What the River Knows. We've got a spy thriller, The Helsinki Affair. A contemporary fiction, Again and Again. A romance, This Spells Love. And a literary fiction, Let Us Descend. And then, as always, the member favorites are The Golden Couple, The First Ladies, Happiness Falls, Ariadne, and Olga Dies Dreaming. So let's go in and see what these are about. So The Last Love Note is an early release by Emma Gray. Quick take is Let Those Tears Flow. You'll be quickly won over by this widowed single mom learning to let love back into her heart. Good to Knows are romance, inspirational, emotional, and mama drama. The next one is a young adult called What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. Quick take is if you've ever identified with Indiana Jones, you must read this lush and fantastical romp through 19th century Egypt. Good to Knows are its 400 plus pages, magical, puzzle, quest. Then we have The Helsinki Affair by Anna Pitoniak. It's a spy thriller, which I don't think I've ever seen one of those on Book of the Month before, so that's interesting. Quick take is Are You Mission Ready? This hard-nosed, globe-trotting espionage story will leave you questioning everything around you. Good to Knows are multiple viewpoints, international, non-linear timeline, and movie-ish. Then we have a contemporary fiction called Again and Again by Jonathan Evison. In this moving paean to storytelling, an old man regales his nursing assistant with tales that blur fact and fantasy. Emotional, unreliable narrator, nonlinear timeline, and underdog. We've got a romance called This Spell Love by Kate Robb. Be careful what you wish for. An attempted memory wipe of a bad ex leaves a young woman a stranger to her best friend. Good to Knows are it's a light read, salacious, magical, friends to lovers. And that one was Why I Love It. The Why I Love It for this one was from Catherine Sinner, so that's interesting. I really like Catherine Sinner's books. And then we have a literary fiction called Let Us Descend by Jesmyn Ward. Haunting and Haunted. This is the powerful story of an enslaved girl seeking redemption with the help of her ancestors. It's a heavy read, LGBTQ+ theme, supernatural, and cerebral. So those are our main picks, and then we will go to the add-ons and see if there's any new add-ons, which it looks like there are. Oh, and there's an add-on that I didn't even think about that I really want and is on my most anticipated. So our new add-ons look like Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood, which I'm very excited about, The Future by Naomi Alderman, and I believe that's all. I think What We Kept to Ourselves was... Is this new? This might be new. What We Kept to Ourselves. If it's not, I'm really sorry. It's a historical fiction by Nancy Ju-yeon Kim. Follow one Korean family moving between 70s and 90s LA as they grapple with the meaning of home and dreams. It's 400 plus pages, non-linear timeline, family drama, and immigration. And then we have Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood, which is a young adult. In Allie Hazelwood's YA debut, chess rivals play major gambits with each other's hearts and minds on and off the board. Good to knows are it's a romance, family drama, LOL, and enemies to lovers. And then we have The Future by Naomi Alderman, who wrote The Power. This is a dystopian. From the author of The Power, a bracing new dystopian novel about a near future riven by inequality and climate change. It's 400 plus pages, has social issues, multiple viewpoints, and LGBTQ plus themes. LGBTQ plus themes. I can't speak, per usual in these videos. So at first glance, I'm gonna be really honest, I'm not really thinking that any of these are calling to me. The only one that I would consider is calling to me is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim, but I have this on hold through my library, so this might be a skip month, just because there are so many books coming out in November that I'm really excited about, and with my book budget, I don't want to just buy a book to buy a book. So we'll see. I'm gonna go look through these a little bit more, and then I will let you know what I ended up picking or not picking. I also realized I did not even show the synopsis, so we'll go through that really quick too. So for The Last Love Note, the synopsis is Kate is a bit of a mess. 2 years after losing her young husband Cameron, she's grieving, solo parenting, working like mad at her university fundraising job, always dropping the balls and yet clinging to her sense of humor. Lurching from one comedic crisis to the next, she also navigates an overbearing mom and a Tinder-obsessed best friend who's determined to matchmake Kate with her hot new neighbor. When an in-flight problem leaves Kate and her boss Hugh stranded for a week on the east coast of Australia, she finally has a chance, away from her son, to really process her grief and see what's right in front of her. Can she let go of the love of her life and risk her heart a second time? When it becomes clear that Hugh is hiding a secret, Kate turns to the trail of scribbled notes she once used to hold her life together. The first note captured her. Will the last note set it free? Also, this book contains scenes that depict miscarriage, so those are the content warnings for that one. For What the River Knows, it says, Bolivian Argentinian Inez Oliveira belongs to the glittering upper society of 19th century Buenos Aires, and like the rest of the world, the town is steeped in old world magic that has been largely left behind or forgotten. Inez has everything a girl might want except for the one thing she yearns the most: her globe-trotting parents, who frequently leave her behind. When she receives word of their tragic deaths, Inez inherits their massive fortune and a mysterious guardian, an archaeologist in partnership with his Egyptian brother-in-law. Yearning for answers, Inez sails to Cairo, bringing her sketch pads and an ancient golden ring her father sent to her for safekeeping before he died. But upon her arrival, the old world magic tethered to the ring pulls her down a path where she soon discovers there's more to her parents' disappearance than what her guardian led her to believe. With her guardian's, I can't read, you guys, it happens every time. With her guardian's infuriatingly handsome assistant thwarting her at every turn, Inez must rely on ancient magic to uncover the truth about her parents' disappearance, or risk becoming a pawn in a larger game that will kill her. There's no content warnings for that one on here. For The Helsinki Affair, Amanda Cole is a brilliant young CIA agent following the footsteps of her father Charlie, but Amanda's posting in Rome is a sleepy one. She's listless and looking for action when, on a hot summer day, it walks right through her door. A lowly Russian operative is desperate, telling her that a U.S. senator is about to be assassinated on an overseas trip to Cairo. Amanda believes he's telling the truth, but her superiors do not, and they determine that the best course of action is no action at all. But when an assassination occurs, Amanda is suddenly thrust into an international conspiracy as she tries to find out why the senator was killed. What did he know that made him a target of the KGB and the Kremlin? Amanda pairs up with fast-talking Take-No-Bull Kath, a brash older woman and legendary spy, to get to the bottom of the case. The investigation takes them from Rome to London to Moscow to Helsinki. As Amanda and Kath get closer to solving a case that involves double agents, blackmailed CEOs, illegal arms, transfers, yachting oligarchs, and more, one question keeps coming back to haunt Amanda. Why was her father's name written down in the senator's notes? Notes that he seemed to be putting together right before he died. In order to get to the bottom of this international plot of blackmail, murder, and lies, Amanda must decide where her loyalty lies, with her country or with her family. That was a lot. Again and again. Eugene Gino Miles is living out his final days in a nursing home, bored, curmudgeonly, and struggling to connect with his new nursing assistant, Angel, who is understandably skeptical of Gino's insistence on having lived not just one life, but many. All the way back to medieval Spain, where, as a petty thief, he first lucked upon true love only to lose it and spend the next 1,000 years trying to recapture it. Who is Gino? A lonely old man clinging to his delusions and rehearsing his fantasies, or a legitimate anomaly, a 1,000-year-old man who continues to search for the love he lost so long ago? As Angel comes to learn the truth about Gino, so too does the reader, and as his miraculous story comes to a head, so does the biggest truth of that love, timeless, often elusive, is sometimes often in front of us. Also, content warning, this book does contain mentions of child abuse, so I probably will not be reading that. This spells love. What if one little wish changed everything? When Gemma gets stumped by her long-term boyfriend, she reacts the way any reasonable 28-year-old would, by getting drunk with her sister, kooky aunt, and best friend Dax. After one too many margaritas, they decide to perform a love-cleansing spell which promises to erase Gemma's ex from her memory. They follow all the instructions, including a platonic kiss from Dax, to seal the deal. When Gemma wakes up, she realizes that the silly spell has worked. Not only does it seem that she never dated her ex, but the rest of her life is completely unrecognizable. The worst part, Dax has no idea who she is. To reverse the spell and get back to her old life, Gemma must convince her once best friend, now near stranger, to kiss her. But as she carries out her plan, she finds herself falling for him, hard. Soon, Gemma begins to wonder whether she even wants to go back to the way things once were. What if Dax was the one all along? So that sounds cute, but probably not a November read for me. And then Let Us Descend is a reimagining of American slavery, as beautifully rendered as it is heart-wrenching. Searching, harrowing, replete with transcendent love, the novel is a journey from the rice fields of the Carolinas to the slave markets of New Orleans and into some fearsome heart of a Louisiana sugar plantation. Anna, sold south by the white enslaver who fathered her, is the reader's guide through this hellscape. As she struggles through the miles-long march, Annis turns inward, seeking comfort from memories of her mother and stories of her African warrior grandmother. Throughout, she opens herself to a world beyond this world, one teeming with the spirits of earth and water, of myth and history, spirits who nurture and give, and those who manipulate and take. While Ward leads readers through the descent, this, her fourth novel, is ultimately a story of rebirth and reclamation. This book contains scenes that mention SA. So those are the synopsis for the books. That sounds really, really good, but very heavy. I'm not sure I want a heavy book for November, but I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you guys. Right now, I'm leaning just towards skipping this month. Because, like I said, there's just a lot of November releases coming out, and none of these are really calling to me. So, that does mean that I won't be able to get Check and Mate, but yeah, I think for right now, I'm gonna stick with skipping. So, skip this month. That makes me really sad, but yeah, that is my book of the month video. As always, let me know what you guys picked, if you picked a book in November. If you did not, or you were not a Book of the Month member, and you are interested in any of these books, I always have my Book of the Month referral link down below. You can get your first book for $5. Kind of ironic that I'm saying that when I skipped this month. It wasn't that these books didn't sound good, it's just they didn't sound as good as some of the other books that are coming out this month that I would rather save my money for. So I will be skipping November's Book of the Month box. Makes me sad, but I am really excited for the releases coming out in November. We've got Iron Flame, we've got the special edition of Fourth Wing, we've got Powerless, we've got the special edition of Archer's Voice, along with a ton of other amazing books coming out that I'm very excited for. So yeah, that is my Book of the Month video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.